Hey, welcome to the February 8th, 2024, 11 a.m. version of the Steel Guys. Today we're going to be doing a great interview with Mangalam Alloys, Tushar and Mega Mehta, which I'll introduce here in just a second or so. Let me see. Whoops, let me see. We're live on stuff. We're actually live on YouTube and LinkedIn. Look forward to having an interactive discussion. So what we've got going on here is we're on the Zoom meeting. Anybody that's on the Zoom meeting, feel free to type your questions in the Q&A or the chat, and we'd be happy to answer those questions as we go along. Same thing we'll be monitoring the YouTube and LinkedIn chats. So if you have a question, please feel free to ask them in the chat sections there, and we'll be monitoring those as well. So while we're sitting here waiting for the introductions, if you just go ahead and type in your location where you're logging in from, we'd love to know where you're logging in from. It's probably people around the world here watching in, and if not, when it's being replayed, we'll find out then. So anyway, today we're going to be covering a few things, the background and the growth of the Mangalam Alloys over the years. We ask a couple questions about that and figure out where we're coming from. And we're going to then talk a little bit about the product mix and the capabilities that are current, and then we'll get into the future growth plans, any new equipment, any new market growth, things like that. We'll try to cover those things, and then we'll conclude with the Q&A and wrap things up. So as we're looking forward to that, let me bring in Scott Glenn, the other steel guy. Say hello to Scott Glenn. There he is.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the show here. We're going to get going here in a minute. Today we're interviewing Tushar, who is the CEO and Managing Director of Mangalam Alloys, along with Mega Mehta, the General Manager, CFO, and Export Manager. Mangalam is an integrated stainless steel manufacturer, which has 3 plants in India and 1 in Vietnam. And they make profiles, rounds, squares, hexes, and forge bars, along with fasteners. So we'll get into the details of all that stuff as we go along. And currently they're exporting to more than 40 countries around the world. So with that, let me bring in Mega and Tushar and say hello to them. Hi. Hey, Tushar.
Hello. Hi, Jim. Hi, Scott. How are you guys?
Hi, Tushar. It looks like we might have lost Mega. Where'd she run off to?
Yeah, she's not on here anymore. She's not. Let's see here. You know what? She's here, but let me promote her to the panelist here. See if she can get in here. Don't know what happened to her. We had her all set up a second ago, but
I don't know. There she is coming back in. So how are you? I guess it's evening time where you're at. How
Yeah,
you?
Yeah. We're doing okay. We're excited about this interview, and I'm going to really chat with you guys.
yeah. So let's get started here with the background and the growth. You know, where you're at. What is the background of Mangalam Alloys? Where did it get its start, and how long has it been around?
Mangalam Alloys Limited is a 36-year-old company. It's a family-run business. I'm the second generation in this business. Inception was in 1988, where we laid the foundation of this company. We started very small. We started with a melting unit in Mangalam, and slowly, gradually, with time, as time passed, we grew with this continuously growing market of stainless steel. It's a completely integrated setup, right from melting, top, rolling, heat treatment, bright bars, and fasteners, everything under one roof in Mangalam Alloys, located in India. So the journey was like when we started in 1988, we didn't knew that we'll go so long with so many years, and so with so many changes. And then when my dad started this manufacturing, Indian manufacturing for the whole year was around 5,000 to 6,000 tons per year when he started his career in this stainless steel industry. And I think now I would say combining flat and long, it would be around not less than 300,000 tons per month that India produces per month.
Just India alone.
Just India standalone. So, it's starting from 3,000 tons per annum to 300,000 tons per month. We have been part of this growing industry, and it's been a wonderful experience and has been a good roller coaster ride where we see a lot of things coming in, going out, a lot of developments happen. Nickel prices started right from $3,000 to $60,000, coming down again to 9,000, and then climbing up. So it's a good roller coaster ride.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the interesting part about stainless steel. That and the good part is that the consumption of this industry is continuously growing.
Yes.
That's a very good part, and as awareness is increasing, as the new technologies are coming in, like you talk about the electric cars, you talk about the batteries, there's a consumption of nickel in that. You talk about the spacecraft, there's a consumption of some kind of stainless steel in that. You talk about the California bridge, which is getting reconstructed. Now stainless steel rebars is going to use in the construction of that bridge. So a lot of new developments, a lot of exciting things happening in this industry. As
Yes.
far as Mangalam is concerned, there were certain milestones in our whole journey where in 2005-6 we started with our own rolling mill. Somewhere around 2009 we started with our own bright bar unit. 2017-18 we brought a brand new European machine in our premises, where we could have a better productivity, better yield, consistency in Mangalam. Also, Dad is a chemical engineer, and environment has been his passion and subject. So, 2007, we were doing some research and everything, but we formed a dedicated research center within the company, which got recognized by the central government of India in 2010-11. And we're the second company after Jindal in India who has in-house R&D, which is recognized by the central government of India.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
now
awesome.
so now we have 6 patents in our name, and 2 are internationally published patents, where we are continuously working towards environment, how we can reduce the carbon load. We being industry, we have to do certain things which we are bound, so that we are bound to emit a negative energy or carbon emission in the environment. But we are proud, and it's a great achievement for us that our carbon load to the environment is actually negligible now because of our in-house research team and the few patents that we have. And now we are the next focus is to do something big in the environment, the waste management, where we try to collect the waste of the industry and give back a good, healthy air and environment surrounding to the country, to the world where we live.
That's awesome. I have a quick question for you. You mentioned that Mangalam Alloys is fully integrated. So you all have your own melt shop. I mean, you produce your own steels, right?
Yeah, and when did you start the melt shop? Was that the first thing?
Yeah, so when we started with the melt shop, and we started very small, to be very honest. It was 1988 was everyone was trying to understand how the recycling industry works. So if we talk about the whole journey, 1980s, 85, it was more about making steel from the virgin process. Like you take the iron ore, then put nickel and chromium and make stainless steel. Where in 1980, 85, we started recycling, where we used scrap as a raw material and we recycle the scrap. So for example, 3 or 4 scrap is procured, melted to make 3 or 4 grade of stainless steel, which was a very new thing in 1985. So that has been part of that growing journey. And now even developed countries like Europe, US, everyone has adopted the same process of recycling, because back in 1980s it was a headache to manage the scrap. What are we going to do with the scrap? And then this industry suddenly revived, and then so where it was a headache to dispose, now it has become a very important raw material for the world, and it's
It's a vital part of your business now.
yeah, of our business. And India is one of the second biggest importer of stainless steel in this world.
Oh,
So
okay.
So what are your furnaces? What type of furnaces do you have in your melt shop?
we have induction furnaces, so we use electricity to run the furnaces, and after melting it, the material goes for rolling. We have a natural gas connection, so we don't use the furnace oil. Keeping the environment in mind, we try to use natural gas, which is not emitting any carbon into the environment. Then we have heat treatment furnaces. Again, we use gas-based gas-fired furnaces for heat treatment. Then it goes for bright bar application, where we peel the bars, and also we pickle the angles and flat bars. And again, that once after the pickling is done, we generate the hazardous waste, but we have patent for that, where we are recycling the hazardous waste within our premises, approved by the government, and we are making paver blocks out of it. We're the only company in India which has got a license to use and handle the hazardous waste in-house.
Oh,
And
wow.
we have fasteners to complete our integration.
Okay.
Mega, I've got a question for you regarding, we're talking about recycling, and in the US, there's a big push on ESG, environmental, social, and governance policies that have to do with financing. So any of the financing for the company kind of restricted by the ESG movement?
Sorry, I didn't get your last thing. Any of the?
And the ESG, are you familiar with the term ESG?
Yeah, you said environmental, social, then
Governance. That's what it's ESG. And a lot of it in the US, there's a big push on for to comply with those policies, and you have to actually comply with those policies in a lot of cases so you can get financing. A lot of financing is subject to your adherence to the policies. Is that true in India as well?
No, in India, there are certain guidelines that what is the kind of what is the amount of pollution you can do, or you're allowed to do. So what is the carbon emission? So we have to produce the records that in our process, what is the emission that we are doing. As far as the finances, yes, now WHO and other big guys are promoting that if you work towards the environment, if finance is your bottleneck, we will supply, we will do it. And developed countries like Europe, US, yes, environment has been a major concern. Then they always keep the environment in the center. But we being SME, and the philosophy and the main promoter, my dad, was the chairman of the company. He's always believed that we should always keep the environment in the center. So right from 2005-6, we have our own, we have our own sewage treatment plant, which is not part of any compulsion. But because we have 500 laborers who stay, we have labor quarters, so we have our own sewage treatment plant also. So we treat all the bad water, we give the fresh water back in the cooling towers and the rolling mills, and the residue we do plantation around our GIDC. So we have planted more than 20,000 trees in our GIDC with our own manure. So we try to keep the environment healthy around us. We try to keep the environment center. And what he has believed is that if you love the mother nature, if you keep the nature in the center, nature will always protect you and will guide you to a better path. So that we have believed in that, and we have followed that path.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, so do you see any challenges in that kind of in that respect going forward? That there might be some more additional restrictions coming up or anything that might restrict the company or you have to prepare for?
Yeah, lately in Europe also there has been a policy regarding the environment that we have to declare what is the emission, what is the load to the environment. But blessing in disguise, or I would say we were always very very clear about what steps are we taking and what is the load on the environment. And because we have our own in-house research and development team, which is recognized, so we know we always had the calculation, we always knew the data. We just need to publish it or declare it in the approved format. But otherwise, as far as the environment is concerned, we're very much worried about that because we were complying that since last almost 20 years.
Gotcha. So in the marketplace here, what competitive advantages do you see that Mangalam Alloys has over some of the competitors in the marketplace?
So the philosophy or the growth trajectory that we have we have seen in last 7-8 years, we stuck to one philosophy, or we stuck to one idea that we thought when we came in the export market, we saw a lot of customers were trying to look for a supplier who can give like a one-stop solution. So we thought, let's try to be a Walmart of stainless steel long products, where a customer walks in and approaches us and says, okay, I want bars, angles, hexagonal squares, flat bars. So we started that journey. And I'm very proud to say that maybe in India we are like 10 or 15 good manufacturers who are exporting across the globe. But in the range, Mangalam would be in the top 3 categories, because what we have tried to do is that we have worked on our services. We try to see what customer wants, what would be that where customer is happy to be associated with us. We have a good retainership. That we have a repetitive customer, that a customer who was with us since maybe 5 or 7 years back is still with us because we have that kind of range. And also, we're not a very big corporate where the visibility is not there. We try to be more close to our customer. We try to be open to discussions. Out of 30 odd countries that we export on regular basis, I've visited 25 countries personally and met my customers one-on-one on their table. So we are that old school guys who like to have more personal touch rather than a very professional touch, and it helps us to grow better, to understand our customer better, and that has been one of our success mantra that we have. Challenges that I feel that because of the technology, because of the AI, things are changing very fast. But
Yes, they are.
overall for stainless steel, the odds have worked in our favor, because in few applications that I see, the steel consumption is going down, but stainless steel consumption is going up. Also, India is a very big economy, and the difference between India and China is that China knows how to produce, where India knows how to produce and also consume. So our per capita consumption of stainless steel has increased like almost like 30-40% in last 10 years, which is a very good per capita consumption for a country where we have 1400 million people in our country. So
question for you. I kind of missed along here. Do you make flat bar at all? Because I got a question from.
Yeah, we make hot rolled flat bars, but not the hot rolled coils or hot rolled sheets.
Yeah, not the plate cut flat bars,
Yeah,
but
so
it's
we make
actually true
hot rolled profile flat bars.
Gotcha. Okay, and we'll get into a little more capability, but that was a question that just came in, so wanted to get that question answered while we were here at that section. Okay, so I guess we kind of covered the background here, and so let's kind of move into the product mix and capabilities. Now we're here. That's a good question to segue into that. So maybe kind of what range of products are we offering here? You know, size ranges and stuff for each one of your product lines, real quick.
So the products in terms of shapes that we offer is we offer round bars. Round bars we offer from 3 millimeter up to 400 millimeter in diameter. So it will be like almost in inches, it will be around 15 and a half inch. That's the maximum diameter that we can go. And the other shapes that we offer is hexagonals, square bars, angle bars, flat bars, fasteners, and threaded rods. That is our price. That is the size in. In hexagonal and square, we start from half inch to 2 inch in diameter. And angles and flat bars, we start almost from 1 inch to 4 inch. That's the normal usual range. And other products that we are actually planning to introduce or we are working on is to introduce channels of stainless steel because we and unequal angles of stainless steel because we find profile and structure is going to be is a very interesting market in stainless steel. And stainless steel being a costly item, you know, a lot of people need they want customized profiles instead of like you know buying a basic profile and then doing all the cutting, machining, welding. Now customers want to have a rolled material, just bend it, put it, and so that the necessary component can be made very fast. So we are shifting our thoughts to how different profiles we can introduce. As far as the grades are concerned, we make more than 30 grades in Mangalam Alloys. We melt our own steel in 30 odd grades.
So
Basically,
without getting into the details of all the grades, I mean, are they all stainless grades or pretty much
all stainless grades
all
and
stainless? Okay.
all stainless and few basic grades like precipitate hardenable steel, which is AISI 630, mainly used in oil and gas. Then we also do some duplex F51, which is again used in oil and gas. And
Okay.
we use some tool die steels, H13, which is not actually stainless steel. It's a higher alloy that we do.
So if someone out there, and this is just kind of an off the wall question, but if someone came out and said, we have a customized grade that we really are trying to develop and for a specific product for a specific market, would that be something that you would entertain? I mean,
What is your minimum heat? What is the minimum
yeah,
heat there
yeah.
too?
I mean, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. Would that be something you would entertain? Certainly, obviously, if the volume was there and it made sense, but
No, actually, it's a very good point, and we have done we have actually done or given solution to 2 or 3 companies in India. Who, one of them is Sandvik.
okay.
So we have for their tooling application, they wanted a customized solution. So we introduced tungsten and we changed a few chemistries in that. And then once it was the desired result that they wanted, once they registered that grade in their own names. And I'm the only company in India to supply that grade. Either they will import from their mother company, Sweden, or they will buy it from Mangalam India. So such
Oh,
kind of
okay.
solutions also we have tried, we have given, because as I said, we are not a very big, large corporate, we are a medium scale industry where we have that kind of flexibility and
Yes.
we also invest our time, energy into our customer. So we try to do something different where our customer feels, obviously, once he feels that, you know, I'm getting a solution, we also get a good feedback in terms of pricing, in terms of preference from them. And we always try to, for example, Sam, we do maintain some stock in our premises. So they always have that kind of, you know, backup. You know, if they need it immediately, they can have that special grade. They don't have to buy it from Sweden.
Right.
So
And I would,
such
yeah, I would assume to your point that you being a little bit of a smaller company with a little more flexibility, some of the larger manufacturers have larger heat lot quantities and a lot more restrictions. So that gives you a little more flexibility with the size of your heat lots. You can make smaller heat lot quantities, and that's more feasible for some people if they wanted that customized grade. So
Yeah, how many tons
that's
is
good to know.
melt? How many tons?
In special grades, normally the requirement is not huge. You don't get Inconel 825 inquiry for one container. It's like hardly 2 or 3 tons, or maybe 5 or 3 some pounds. The reason is that it's a very costly item. The application would be some, like, a very special one, would be oil and gas, or you'll be using in some component of NASA or something like that, which is going to go for some aerospace application or high temperature application. So in such grades, in such requirements, you don't need a very big, you don't get a very big order. And that's where, companies like us, or we see that, and that's a golden opportunity for us, where we make that extra effort and try to get that thing. Yes, obviously, the basic stainless steel grades has been our bread and butter. The
Yes.
focus is that, but the future is the special grades, and we try to focus on those grades as well.
No, that's great.
Moving back to the product mix real quick, I got a question. Are all orders made to order, or do you make for inventory as well when you're producing?
No, normally, so 80 to 90% orders are against order only. 80 to 90% production is against order, because we have more than 18,000 shapes and sizes per grade that we offer, and we have 30 such grades. So 18,000 into 30 is the permutation combination of the grades, profiles, and sizes that we do. So when you have such a wide range, it becomes very difficult to forecast that what inventory we should carry, what grade we should carry. So we have structured our marketing sales in a way where we have a proper team. We have a very good team with us, who always make sure that we have enough orders to forecast and to run our factory smoothly. So we try not to build up extra inventory. Yes, we need 5-10% of buffer, because if something goes wrong, there's some issue with the material. So we always, if there's a 100 kilo order, we always run with 110 kg of inventory, just to make sure that the goods are delivered on time. So that's only 10-15% material which is unsold. Rest everything is against order.
Gotcha. So let's kind of segue into the future growth plans here and I was kind of going with the question with that production capabilities as well. Do you have any plans in the production short-term or long-term for growth in your production plans?
Yeah, you already mentioned the channel possibly, but
True.
anything else? Right?
So the vision of Mangala Millers is to be the most preferred stainless steel manufacturer in the world. Not because of volume, but because of consistency, because of the quality. So definitely we have certain plans for future, but it will move on, like we will move on step by step. The thing is that we want to upgrade ourselves in terms of systems, in terms of automation, something or more on the waste management, few more new grades that we want to introduce. In India, right now, we're making 3 grades. Who accept us as not making in India. India is still importing that grade when they have a requirement. So we're trying to replace import. We're trying to replace the imported goods by our own goods. So we are continuously working and trying to walk the hard way, and we are loving this hard journey where a lot of knowledge, a lot of experiences are coming along this journey. As far as the strategic goals and what future that we see is that as far as volume is concerned or the turnover is concerned, the potential of our company that we have is to grow at least 2 to 3 folds in terms of numbers, in terms of volumes. And next 2 years is going to be about how better we can do, how in volumes, how better we can sell our product. So next 2 years is going to be a very good journey for us, and that's what we're going to focus on.
Awesome.
Yeah, back in the, I'm kind of thinking here about the future, how you see it in India versus, I'm looking back at the last 20 or 30 years in the US here, and I've seen a consolidation of manufacturers. Even today, we still see Nippon Steel buying US Steel and, the consolidation continuing to happen. So how do you see that? Is India pretty well consolidated in their production, or do you have more manufacturers spread out over a larger geographic area?
In India, actually, the backbone of our economy has been our economy is like a pyramid where you have in the top of the pyramid is they are the large producers like Jindal, Viraj, they're the big manufacturers are there, and the bottom of the pyramid is the other cottage industries or the small stockists or traders where they cut and give small materials to small vendors. So because of the population that we have, because of the mindset, so we have a lot of small industries, medium industries, large, and then there are the big corporates. So yes, we have a lot of manufacturing activity going on. After China, India is the second biggest steel producer in the world. Third is Japan. So we have very good capability of understanding the product. We have very good mind that who can understand the subject, who can manufacture, who can deliver as per the expectation of the customer. And the kind of infrastructure growth that we're seeing in India is also prompting companies like us to expand further, because even the domestic demand is increasing. This Modi government that we have has done a lot of big projects, which is attracting, or the whole world has India's attention now, and everyone wants to invest in India. So the infrastructure development is there, industry development is there, industrialization has been at its peak now. FDIs have been the highest, and it's every quarter we are breaking our own record with maximum FDIs flowing in this market. And if you see rest of the world, there are a lot of uncertainties, like Europe, the UK breaking up, and the Brexit happened, the economical situation. So India is a very growing economy, and normally in a growing economy you get that extra 2x, 3x growth that you see. So here it's not that everyone is very closely associated. Lot of big companies are taking over the smaller ones, or big two elephants are joining hands and becoming a giant. No, that's not a very popular thing right now. But yes, once if we reach to a saturated level, it's important to kill the competition, become friends. But that's not what is happening in India, at least now.
That's not where it's at right now, huh? Yeah.
So, you're talking about foreign direct investment coming in. Is there any countries that are maybe, what is it, a little larger, a little faster, or a little more, how would you say this? What am I looking for here? Like, is China wanting to be a big investor in India, or is US? Where do you see the foreign investments coming from?
China wanted to. This government has put some restrictions that you cannot bring money from China, and if some Chinese company want to invest, they have to go through some approvals where government will check, because what is happening after COVID, everyone wants to have an alternative to China. And China also wants that, the dependency that the world has on China, it should not go. So it's like a tug of war that US wants to pull from the north part and China is pulling from the southern part, and things are going that way. But maximum FDI that what we hear is from Europe or US, which is coming India.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. Well, that kind of wraps up my questions that I had sitting out here. Is there anything you'd like to add before we start wrapping up here? Scott, you got any other questions?
You know, the only thing I can say is that, you know, with the as you mentioned earlier, Tushar, you know, that the stainless steel market is expected to grow for each consecutive year coming up, and we're excited about the relationship with Mangalam Alloys, and we're very impressed with your capabilities, and we're looking forward to helping you expand and grow your business in the U.S. market. So, the only thing I can add is if anybody out there that has any specific questions about Mangalam Alloys, any specific needs, we focus our efforts on selling to the metal service center. So, if we can be of service to you, and reach out to us and let us know. We obviously have the people that can get us the answers. So that's the only thing I could add into there.
Thank you. Well, one of the other things I want to add too is I know in April, let's make a little kind of conversation. You can want to invite people to your booth. You have a booth in the Wire Show, correct?
Yeah.
Which is, what dates are they in Dusseldorf, I'm assuming, correct?
Mega, can you help me with the dates? It's in the 3rd week of April.
Yeah, so we are going to be exhibiting in Wire and Tube Dusseldorf, and the exhibition is from April 15th to April 19th.
Okay.
So we would like to invite everyone who would be willing to travel to Dusseldorf to please come and visit our booth.
Sure. That'd be great.
And
Great opportunity.
maybe if you could send me that information, Mega, and I'll forward it to everybody that we have as well, just an email invitation, put it out there.
I sure will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Give you
Yeah.
your
And
number.
I'm just going to emphasize again, too, if you want some more information about Mangalam Alloys, reach out to us and let us know. We'll be happy to get you that information and find out what your needs are and how we might be able to help you.
Yeah, and anybody has not been to that show, that's a huge show. What is it, like 7 halls that 7, like that's you can
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah,
and
so
all
there
day.
are a total of 16 halls.
16.
It's the biggest metal expo in the
Expo
world.
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean it's huge. We
Yeah.
walk. You can watch days there. And sometimes when you go to a trade show, you can walk up and down the aisles, and a couple hours later, you're done. Depending on how many people talk to, you've got to keep walking and walking and walking here.
Yeah, you keep on walking, and the 4 or 5 days are not enough to visit
Yeah.
each and every booth.
There are
Yeah.
more than I think 70,000, 80,000 exhibitors.
Wow.
Oh, my. Wow. And if I remember correctly, some of them even serve food and beer.
Yeah.
And beer.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. So if you get tired, you can stop and refuel.
It's just not a piece of
Yeah,
candy
for
that you
sure.
stop by and pick up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for taking time out of your day to join us and have this conversation. And we look forward to our continued relationship and building your business with you. And you guys have anything else that you'd like to add at this point?
Well, thank you, Scott, Jim, for having us, and it was lovely to have you, and this discussion was really nice. I hope we as a team we deliver as per everyone's expectation. The only thing that I know, we believe in ourselves, and this 36-year-old company journey has been really nice. It has been full of experiences, and the good part is that we've always learned from that experience, good or bad, and we have come out very strong. And yes, the intent is very correct. We have a very strong team, more than 1,500 employees, including staff, labor as a group we have, and with the experience of the first generation, with the kind of energy of the second generation, it's a good combo to the current world that we know. We believe in ourselves, and I'm sure we'll deliver whatever our customers or whatever you guys expect out of us.
Okay. All right.
And
Okay. Well, thanks
express our
again.
gratitude back to you guys. Thank you for your support as well. And
Definitely.
keep working and look forward to seeing you guys real soon.
So, see
Thank you so
soon.
much. Thanks for having us. Thanks.
All right. Have a
Absolutely.
great evening.
See you guys. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now.